All right, Semper Gumby Nation, we are going to announce the winner of the SOLFIRM SC13 EDC flashlight. And the winner is, let me see, I got to get back to it, is Mr. Hey everyone, this is Ben, and thank you for joining us on this episode of a very chilly Semper Gumby channel. As many of you have found out, as well as I have, there has been some very, very cold temperatures hitting the US. And here in Tennessee, we were hit with about 5 inches of snow the other night, and temperatures that were single digits. And at night we hit a all-time low of minus 10 degrees, which turned everything in this city not only shut down but to a big ice skating rink. And we are still shut down. A lot of businesses and everything are still closed due to the ice. Unfortunately, I shoveled my driveway the day the snow fell, or the next day, so I don't have a whole lot of ice on my driveway like the rest of the street. And we'll walk out there and check it out. Whew. The wind, there is a wind chill advisory today. We're talking about 15 to 25 mile an hour winds, and it is bone chilling cold. And I should have some gloves on, but let me make sure I don't fall on my butt. But this is all ice. It may look like some of the snow's gone, but everything in black is black ice, and it is slick as can be. We have not had mail service since Monday. I've been waiting for UPS and FedEx to drop off a bunch of items that I've been waiting for, and they have not come yet. So anyway, that's where we stand. So we're going to take a look at some of the things that I have in my van if I was camping. Now, I don't know, it would be fun to be camping in minus 10 degrees, but if I was out there and it did get to minus 10 degrees, I have a couple of things that would keep me warm or get me through the night. If I got stranded on the side of the road or my vehicle stopped working, how would I survive? So let's go take a look what I've got, and hopefully some of these things will, you know, be an idea or ideas for you, and hopefully it'll get you through this cold weather. Let me go get some gloves, and we'll go check all this out. Now, they say you lose a lot of heat through your fingers, toes, and head. Okay, so you want to have some good headgear. On top of that good headgear, I also can put this hoodie on to give it an extra layer of warmth to keep some of the heat in. I do have some gloves on, and I do have some boots on. Now, these boots are insulated, and I also have some thermal socks along with some thermal underwear on. Now, I do have some fleece lined pants. I don't have those on today, but if I was camping, I would probably use my thermal underwear, my long sleeve, and my long pants underwear along with that fleece lined long pants. Now, if you're still cold, a good option to have is some hand warmers. Now you can pick up these hand warmers. They sell them in a bag, you know, of 99 cents for 2. But at Walmart, you can get a bag of, I mean, a huge bag for about 10 bucks. Now these are just regular hand warmers. They make some that stick to your body with some adhesives. They make some that go in your shoes or your socks. And these are, they last about 10 to 12 hours. And these are a good option to have, especially if you're outdoors and you have to brave the elements. While on patrol, I always used to carry these with me. Before I start a shift, I would pop open 2, throw 2 in my gloves or 2 in my pockets of my jacket or 2 in my pockets of my pants. These really help during the winter months. And like I said, they're pretty cheap to have, but they give a lot of warmth. Now I'm fixing to put some in my gloves because these gloves are not very warm. So these are the ticket. All right, gang, one of the most important pieces of equipment that I have in the van right now is this. This right here is my H-calorie diesel heater. And this is my second diesel heater. The first one I sold because I didn't like the configuration. It was perfectly fine. It just didn't fit the van the way I wanted to. But I ordered this one because if you look at it, it's self-contained, all in like a little briefcase or a Pelican case, which I really like, where I can just disconnect the hose clamps and then I could move it to the camper. I did modify this, and I did drill a hole through the floor using a coupling, and then I do have an exhaust that vents out. I did test it. I don't have any exhausts in the van, and I did that with I also put a carbon monoxide monitor in here and have zero carbon monoxide. So let's go get this thing heated up and put some heat in the van so I can show you what else we got going. But I am going to hook the diesel heater up to a 12-volt battery. So let's go ahead and see if I can do this one hand. Whew. My hands are so cold I can't even grab the bolts. Man. Okay. Whew. Okay. I've got about a quarter tank of diesel in there. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, I've got power on here. Let's go ahead and hit that power button.
Start heating.
Okay, now when you hit the power button on the diesel heater, you will, it'll tell you starting to heat or start heating. And once it does that, you'll get a display as it goes through the steps. It'll prime the pump. You will hear a bunch of ticking, and then with the ticking, it'll prime the pump, and then it'll start the fan, and then it'll do it. So it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for the whole system to start. So we'll let that go ahead and run, and like I said, this is a pretty compact system, and I like it just because it puts out a lot of heat. And of course, this is my carbon monoxide monitor here. It's a kitty, or kid, or kitty, however you pronounce that. All right, gang, you can hear the exhaust from the diesel. Let's see if I can show you the exhaust from the diesel heater underneath the van. Bear with me just a second. Okay, there it is, folks. It's coming up from the floor. And I got it vented away from the van, so that's where it goes, and you can't smell anything in here. Now, diesel heaters have really gotten popular in the camping off-grid, the overland community, because of the efficiency of the heater. It takes very little fuel to run all night. It pumps out tremendous amount of heat, and it draws very little wattage once the heater gets running. Now, the initial surge to start the heater will take about 140 watts, but once the glow plugs and everything starts running, it'll back down to about 20 or 30 watts. And that'll change depending on how hot or how much of the temperature you got regulated on your levels. But the problem with that is, on a power station, the 12-volt cigarette lighters, or the DC plug, is only a 10 amp capability on there. Now, the diesel heaters take about 15 amps to start. So the power station usually shuts down, and it's not enough to power up the diesel heater. So hopefully there will be a power station that can adapt to a 15 amp DC plug. Now, some of the other power stations or some of the other diesel heaters, like the one I just ordered from H Calorie, I've got another one coming, and yes, I do have a problem like my buddy Brian Waters in Texas. I think he's on his third diesel heater, and I'm on my third diesel heater. It's actually, H Calorie is sending me the Pro model, and that one there takes AC and DC, so I can either plug it into a power station through the DC because it has a converter in there, or I can plug it into the AC. So that one, I'm looking forward to it, because I am going to put that one in the van, and I'm going to move this one to the camper. Now, the price on diesel heaters range anywhere between I'm going to say $95 to $140, depending on, I guess, the time of the year. Now, this one behind me, I picked it up for $95, and that was including shipping, and that was, I clipped the coupon off of Amazon. The one before that was a Vivor, and that one was on sale during Black Friday. So, you know, I bought both these for under $100 a piece, and they're well worth it. I think this is the best piece of camping or gear equipment or outdoor equipment that I've ever purchased. Now, what I really like about this diesel heater and all of the H Calories, they come with an app that you can control everything from your phone. Now, if you look right here, the bars that running across, I've got it at halfway right now. But if you wanted to kick this up, you could also go all over, hit that plus sign. Let me see. And that bar goes all the way across, and you should hear the fan kick on. Or the fan kick on higher, and you hear that fuel pump ticking more. And it is putting on some heat. Well, let's bring it down halfway. Let's go to level 5. So, actually the van is starting to warm up right now. I sure hope you guys can hear me over the fan. But if you look right here, this is the air intake filter, and it runs right down into that hose. And basically it's just a filter for your intake, so you don't suck in any type of debris or bugs or anything like that. That right there is your controller. You do have a dial where you can dial, you know, the levels up to 10 or back down to 1. You can also do it from the app on your phone. That right here, that's your where your heat comes out, and it's a flexible hose, so you can adjust it anywhere you want to and bend it or whatever, stretch it out. But right now I just got it hanging right off there, blowing to the front of the van. This right here is your 1.5 gallon diesel tank, and you can run that whole tank of diesel fuel for about 14 to 16 hours on a fuel tank, depending on the level. I believe if you put it on 5 or halfway, you can run this thing for about 16 hours all night long. And then of course your power cord going to your 12-volt battery, and then your fuel line. Now the back of the unit, this is actually where your heat comes out. Like I said, it's pointing towards the front of the van. You do have your hose clamp, and of course you have your exhaust line here, your heater line, and that, like I said, goes underneath the van and exhausts out to the atmosphere. But pretty much that's it. It's a really simple design, and for the price that you get for it, it's a well worth it investment. So if you're going to do any kind of stealth camping, you know, you'll hear the exhaust. They'll know that you're in the van, and you know, it's just it's not very loud at all. It's just sounds like just a small jet engine, I guess, and you know, but a very compact unit. And like I said, it's called H-Calorie. So the next piece of gear I want to talk about is the Mr. Heater, and this is the Mr. Buddy propane heater. And these were pretty popular with campers and overlanders before diesel heaters came out. And there are some pros and cons to this piece of equipment. One, the pros is it puts out some pretty good heat, a lot of heat. The con is it uses propane bottles, and you know, the propane bottles are, you know, these have gotten really expensive. You could have bought, you know, 2 years ago a bottle for $3. Now they're about $6 a piece, and then if you buy a set of 2, they are about $9, $10. They're crazy, and they go through this heater pretty quick. Now, if you do use a Mr. Buddy or a Mr. Heater, the drawback to this is this thing, it can be very dangerous. Now, one major concern people have with this, that this thing can put out some carbon monoxide. They say do not run this overnight in your vehicle or in your tent or in your, you know, your rig while sleeping, because carbon monoxide is a silent killer. Now, I do have a carbon monoxide sensor or a monitor here, but still I do not run this all night long. I'll run it to take the edge off the cold in the van, and then I'll shut it off. If it gets cold, I'll go ahead and turn it back on and let it run for a little bit and then shut it off. The thing with a propane heater is it creates moisture. So I found that when I would use this for, you know, a little bit, I would notice that there would be moisture on the roof of the van or moisture on the side. Okay, gang, the next option would be is to use a 12-volt battery. This right here is a 12-volt battery made by Greener Power. It's a 200 amp hour plus battery, and this battery goes to a 2000 watt inverter. So let's go ahead and hook this battery up. And we'll go ahead and turn on the inverter. Okay, I'm showing 13.6 volts. So the 12-volt battery goes to the 2000 watt inverter. And now I can plug in anything that's AC powered. Now I got my 12-volt battery all hooked up. It's all charged, hooked up, and it's going straight to my 2000 watt inverter. Now I'm completely off the grid. And if I want to run my electric space heater, now I can do that. So let's go ahead and plug this in. Okay. And we'll go ahead and turn this on to low. We're going to crank this up to high. And now we're pulling out some really good heat. And it is drawing about 1500 watts off of my inverter. So like I said, these things draw a lot of power. Now if we go to the low settings, it'll drop it to 700 watts. So that's something you need to consider when using a electric space heater with your lithium batteries. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and shut off the diesel heater. It's 68 degrees in here. We ran it long enough for this video, and we are going to use the app to shut it down. And I'm going to show you that real quick. So basically you're going to hit this button there. You push that button to turn off the heater. It turns green. The pump will stop pumping and the fan will automatically shut down. Now, if you do get a diesel heater, do not disconnect the power from the battery source until it is completely shut down. Because you still have fuel in the line, you still have exhaust in there. It has to get that all out of the system, so it's bleeding the system out. So do not disconnect the power until the thing tells you it is completely shut off. So right now it's just winding down. So those are the ways that I use to heat up my camper truck or my van while camping, or if I needed to keep warm. And then the last option is, if you have enough fuel in your vehicle, get in your vehicle and start up your vehicle, turn on the heater, get warm that way. That is your last resort, because you know you're going to burn your fuel in your vehicle. So I hope that this helps. I hope it gave you guys some options or ideas. When I get the other diesel heater from H Calorie, I will be doing a full review on that, the install, checking it out, putting it together, and you'll enjoy that. But regardless if it's the diesel heater, the Mr. Buddy heater, the space heater, your vehicle heater, and other things that you can do to stay warm, always be prepared. And I hope that this was an informative video for you. So until the next, oh, wait a minute. All right, Semper Gumby Nation, we are going to announce the winner of the SOLFIRM SC13 EDC flashlight. And the winner is, let me see, I got to get back to it, is Mr. Brian Cassidy 1136. Brian Cassidy 1136, congratulations. You're the winner of the SOLFIRM SC13. This is a really cool flashlight. So what you need to do is email me at sempergumby731@gmail.com. Send me your shipping info and I'll get to you, get this to you sometime next week when they open the city back up. Mail still hasn't arrived, post office is down, but as soon as everything opens up, I'll probably do it next week and get this to you. I still got to ship out some other stuff, some solar panels to another gentleman that has won last week's video. So congratulations, and next week we'll be giving away another item. So until the next video, this is Semper Gumby out.